Bring up Graeme Kenna.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kenna. It's Mr. Hussain here, once again, leaving yourself another daily message like a broken record. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, the 31st of July, 2024. And as you know, I've been leaving your daily messages from the 10th of October, 2023. And now it's coming to be nearly a year that you've kidnapped my brother from my care and custody and forcibly detained him in your private prison at the Sunningdale Care Home, and then provided to give them instructions on how I am to interact and engage with them, and and by doing so set a precedence by effectively unlawfully detaining my brother for a period now of a year, permitting me to see him on one occasion, so you can then get the legal moral or legal or ethical justification to prevent me from seeing him further. So you had initially got me on a police bail conditions, by instructing the police to prevent my contact with my brother, and then subsequently you've now looked to find a legal justification to prevent me from seeing my brother by having me come down to the care home to agitate and antagonize me, for then to be utilized and leveraged to prevent my further contact with my brother. I was not stupid, and this is one of the reasons that I refused to see my mother under the draconian conditions you had set for me to even see my own mother, after forcibly making me homeless at the height of the pandemic, and by proxy making my brother homeless. So these were your shenanigans back in 2021, and I refused to see my mother. And then your privately commissioned out High Court Justice, Mr. Justice Cohen, was inquiring from me in October 2021. Why did you not go see your mother? So therefore we could have got further charges against you. And I quite clearly saw through your enterprise then and refused to see my mother, because you were setting me up. And so when you try to set me up now recently this year on the 3rd of June, it's all fallen abysmally apart, isn't it? Oh, Mr. Hussain, you must not record us. Of course I'm going to record you, you lying, cheating scoundrels. If it wasn't for me recording you, then you can peddle all your lies that you want, can't you? That's the reason why it's so important for citizen journalism to take place. I mean, as you can see, I bet you personally, Mr. Kenna, took a great deal of pleasure at the recent incident regarding the booting in the head of a vulnerable teenager lying on the floor by the police officers. And if that matter wasn't recorded, then the police would tell a lot of lies and cover things up. And as you can see, the police institutions, not just West Yorkshire Police, but up and down the country, the police forces are being shown up for the true systemic failures. There was I'm sure you and people in the Bradford Council that are the decision makers would also be concurring with all these other people that are stating that the actions, subsequent revelations regarding the CCTV footage at the Manchester airport shows the brutality committed by those young two Asian men, when the reality is that was only orchestrated by this villainous, evil, no doubt racist armed officer who will put the lives of not only the members of the public in danger, but his own colleagues by being forcefully overhanded. And you see, then all of a sudden it's all once again an immigration issue, isn't it? Race relations and an immigration issue, where you're trying to justify that those people, that brown people such as me and my brother and all the other brown people, just don't understand British values, and yet they are uncivilized, while you would argue, Mr. Kenna, and you, the decision makers, the white indigenous white people, indigenous, would argue the fact that you are more civilized. And what subsequently happened, there was protests by the Asian community community in Rochdale, but they did not result in violence, did it? No subsequent damage was caused as a result of those protests. No subsequent arrests were made as a result of those protests. Nothing happened. Ultimately, yes, of course, we have a right to protest. Are those not part of the British values, to protest on the streets when there's an injustice? You can see the fact that protests take place up and down this country regarding pay, the doctors' pay, amongst other people that have a right to protest. It's a fundamental right to protest peacefully, and that's what had occurred in Rochdale. But now look at the subsequent situation that's now transpiring in the headline news regarding the Southport killing done by somebody who's not even it's not even done by a migrant, but the idea that it was on a migrant on a boat, a Muslim, had done this, resulted in clashes between the far right British Defence League and a mosque. What's a mosque got to do with being the subject or the point of venting anger, which has then resulted in thuggery by English, who you would argue are indigenous English people, that have done a far deal of damage and to the police force, which we're supposed to respect. It's very difficult to respect the police force when you, the local authority, are privately commissioning out their services, and the West Yorkshire Police Force are prostituting out the services to you to commit evil, villainous, racist acts such as what's happened to me and my brother. But look at this, Mr. Kenna, you personally can see, we can all see who the civilized people are here. The Romanians protested and set a bus on fire, all right, because you, the local authorities, or the authorities that had stolen their children, so they had a right to protest, maybe which resulted in violence and aggression. The Rochdale people, nobody was violent, aggressive. The Asian people did not set fire to anything. But yet the English Defence League once again shows themselves to be the true thugs that they are by setting fire to the police vehicles. This is the reality of the situation, isn't it? The more dangerous people are the indigenous, white, racist, far right activists, such as the people that are now targeting me and my brother by denying us access to see each other. These are far right activists, English Defence League activists that are targeting me, and no doubt, you too, Mr. Kenna, probably have such affiliations of clear racism, because obviously I'm trying to speak to yourself and trying to resolve a situation, and you're torturing me and my brother in this manner, and this is quite clearly a racially motivated attack, which I've clearly established previously, where you come and abducted my mother and tortured her to death. And once again, here I am leaving yourself a daily message, and you are the ones that are acting in an impotent, childish manner by refusing to even engage with me and giving instructions.
You're approaching the maximum allowed time for recording a message. If you wish to record further, please choose the append option from the menu. If you've finished recording, just hang up. If you don't carry on recording or hang up, your message will be deleted. To listen to your message, press 1. To re-record your message, press 2. To continue recording your message, please record the rest of your message after the tone. When you've finished recording, press the hash key.
As I was saying, Mr. Kenna, it is just your racism that has resulted in this situation. You, when I say you, I'm not talking about you personally, Mr. Kenna. I'm talking obviously about you, the collective corporation that is institutionally racist and targeting me and my family. You've already murdered my mother. You've already murdered my brother. You've already murdered my father. And now all of a sudden you unlawfully detaining my brother, and no doubt are going to murder him too. So this is all about murder and torture and mayhem as yourself as a local authority who can't do your jobs properly and are inherently racist and discriminatory against us. It is we, the brown people, that you would like to kick out of this country, that are remaining with restraint and decorum. Look at myself, look how I've acted and behaved. Have I threatened everybody? Have I been verbally abusive while you were torturing my mother to death?
Available for recording your message. To listen to your message, press 1. Message sent. Goodbye.
So while they were torturing and murdering my own mother, my own beloved elderly mother, whom they said that they were acting in the best interest of, I did not behave in such a reprehensible manner as the people, as the indigenous far-right English Defence League have done, gone out of their way to go to Southport on mislined allegations and making assumptions that it was the Pakistanis or the Muslims, and breaking the mosques, and then subsequently not adhering to police orders and attacking the police. Who's attacked the police? Is it the Asian people, or was it the far right indigenous white people who say that we are here as aliens? And this is the reality of it. This is just pure racism by the authorities. Those very same people that have the same opinions as the far right English Defence League that are now burning down the building and burning down Southport are the very same people with the same mindset of Bradford Council that are sitting as decision makers to torture and humiliate and degrade me and my brother by denying us our contact with each other, and also selectively torturing us and murdering my family members, all under the guise of racism and Islamophobia and degradation and humiliation that we're having to suffer on a daily basis. Completely horrendous and ridiculous.